Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we fine? Hold on. Hold on, quick audio check. I need to mute for a second. Huh. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I didn't plan to stream today, but unfortunately, I need to stream today because next time I'm gonna be streaming like in the end of the next week. So I had really bad mental health for the last couple of days, like really bad. And I would prefer not to be with people when I'm having Manhera episodes, but unfortunately I can't. I need to stream for the sake of consistency and being cool and loyal to my little hobby slash craft. So we're doing it now. We're gonna read a lot. I'm probably gonna be a little low energy, but maybe not. Do you want to hear something? I brought John Smithson Paradise Lost, a book which is really hard. You don't even know how hard it is to find a book in English language in the place where I live. It's like it's a miracle that I did it. Do you wanna hear me read a little verse to you? This one is iconic. I love this verse. This is the best verse in the world. I mean, it's not best verse in the world if you don't think that Paradise Lost is a good book. But unfortunately for me, I don't think that Paradise Lost is a good book, but I also really like this verse. Holy fuck, a mosquito! A mosquito! I kill him! I kill him! Ah! My mic started going! Sorry. I just realized, sorry. Ah! Go away! He fall at me. Mosquito fall at me. I just realized, is go is even a word in English? It should be, right? Is it? It sounds like it's not. Okay, quick verse of Paradise Lost. He rules the movement, cows empire steers, and by decision more embroils the fray by which he regains next him. High arbiter chance course governs all, into this wild abyss, the womb of nature, and perhaps your grave, of neither sea nor shore nor air nor fire, but all these in their pregnant causes mixed, confusingly, in which thus must even flight, unless the Almighty Maker them ordain his dark materials to create more worlds. Into wild beasts and a wary fiend stood on a brink of hell and looked a while, pondering his voyage, for no narrow frith he had to cross. Yay, that's it. You know, his dark materials? You know? His dark materials? Like Lyra and the compass and shit? His dark materials? I'm should stop repeating this. What the fuck, Paradise Regained is really short. What's Paradise Regained gonna be even about? Oh, they have like... They have a little dictionary in the back here, in the back of the book, which is cool. Bootjack. Booty. Booty means treasure prizes. That's not booty means. I know. My Oshin is Hoshu Marine. I would know what booty means. But, except for this... Wait. Are these books specifically made for foreigners? Or what? Why do they have dictionary? Oh no! Classic literature, words and phrases, adapted from the Collins English Dictionary. What do you mean adapted? What do you mean adapted? Ancient, noun. An ancient was a flag displayed on a ship to show which country is belonged to. What? Am I reading this wrong? It's not ancient? Ancient? Antique. Here, antique means horrible or grotesque. Real? Antiques, noun. Antiques is an old word meaning clowns or people who do silly things to make other people laugh. Oh my god, that's me. What? What's a Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe and point like antics at his triple crown. Excuse me? John Donne. Who the fuck? Who the fuck is John Donne? Charles Dickens. Ooh. Okay, I should stop doing this. That's it. That's Paradise Lost for you. Pretentious fucking ass book. Let's read real literature. Let's read umineko. Oh! Did I check everything? I'm so out of it today. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really, really exhausted and shit. I have really bad yesterday. I actually thought I had an opportunity to do like long stream like I did one time before. But I was so fucked up, so I decided, yeah, better just rest. Actually planned to do some other work, like I wanted to finish an art on Halloween and open a Twitter account and post art of me in a Halloween costume here, but it's not gonna happen probably. I'm like, I didn't do anything for the last 2 days, which is really fucked up. I wish I'm gonna get better soon. This is insane. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. You know, BMO always bounces back. In this world where two conflicting things can exist at the same time, and it is a world where the conflicting truths cannot disprove each other, it is starting to make sense to you? Last time we went batshit crazy, right? Ronan? Characters. Did we confirm character death? Did we read? Oh, sometimes I go to the character like thingy and I can't click neither witch's side or human side for some reason. Oh, here we go. No, we didn't discover any corpses yet. Okay. So all the servants died and Kinzo, right? 6 people on the first twilight. So all the people that's left is Dr. Nanjo and the family. That's interesting. Wonder what's gonna happen here. In other words, no matter how much awesome magic Beata shows me, there is only claim from the magic theory and it doesn't disprove mine. So it's like, no matter what kind of magic Beata shows me in this world, that cannot become proof that magic exists. Actually, good thing to say. Like, I like this dialogue. This dialogue makes a lot of sense to me. Because, like, all of these chapters, except for the first one, are artificial, right? Beata could have created them herself. So it makes sense that there would not be counted as a proof that magic exists. That's right. The child will probably ever try to explain an apple falling from a tree with magic. The child might shake her staff and pluck an apple with magic and claim that she dropped it to earth. However, that would be nothing more than another one of your claims. None of your claims can block your opportunity to make a claim. In that sense, this word is quite impartial to both sides. I get it. Still, by that argument, even if I show a sound argument with my science theory, all it will do to collide heads-on with her magic theory, and I can't win against her either. Yeah, what if she lied to you with her red text? Furthermore, there won't be any final judgment unless we peek into the brown tube. Where is the brown tube in this world? It means there is no reason for us to argue. Wouldn't it be alright if we just got along and peeked into a brown tube? If there really is a tiny person in here, I suffer total defeat. Otherwise, I win. Why do we have to hold this debate without looking into a brown tube? That itself is a game which the child has challenged you to. Perhaps instead of a court, I should use chess as an example. Victory and loss is not determined by judge. You who are fighting will decide it yourselves. Can you win an argument with the opponent in a screwed up world where multiple truths can exist at the same time? But do you not realize, in point of fact, you were beaten in the argument and are sitting here now submitting? That is all the advice I can give you for now. If you wish, I can occasionally give you advice. Where is Federico's advices? Sure. Thanks. That really helps. I'll avenge you. Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. What's your name? Beatrice used to be my name, but now that I have surrendered it, I don't know if I have a name. So, I shall take a temporary name. Virgilius! Uh-oh. When we gonna have Dante? Who's gonna be Dante, guys? Virgilius. No, what about Virgilia? Oh, it's your name! Virgilia! Valkyria? Wasn't that the name of a legendary goddess? Oh, so you know about goddess, but you don't know about Divine Comedy? No, it means the one who's guide to Beatrice. I will guide you to that child who waits in the summit of Mount Purgatory. Oh, we are Dante. Ooh. Parallels. It should be fitting name for that kind of guide. To think that I accept help from a witch when I'm trying to deny witches. Well, maybe she's not a witch. I see. This is a contradictory world where different claims can exist at the same time. That also works. It's almost funny. Okay, this headphone is really loud. I need another one, or else I'm gonna die. Good one. I'm born in this child's world. Words, but you truly are like a phoenix. You will to fight will already been revived. Come, if your heart is prepared, return to the child. Return to the chessboard the child is sitting at. This is actually based at Butler losing hope a lot of times here, because he is a child. He's like 17. His brain didn't form fully yet. Like, what do you want from him? He's just a guy trying to do his best. I respect it. I look forward to seeing how far you can fight my disciple. Yeah, you just watch. I won't listen to her babbling anymore. I'll coolly fight to the end. I will definitely won't get provoked by her anymore. Then, let us return to the seat of the battle. Sorry. Oh, Butler! Where did you hide yourself? I thought this sore loser wouldn't show himself again, you see? Sorry to keep you waiting. I've cooled my head a little. And? Did you think the response of that pleasant, thrilling, refreshing, highly acclaimed, wonderfully tasty battle between Master and me? Isn't that impossible to explain without fantasy? Milady, you have only just promised to be kind and act refined, remember? Haha, oops, my mistake. I just get in such a good mood when I see Butler's face, you see? You're so in love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, man Butler, that battle just now. How would you respond to it? Battle? Did something happen? What? We're in the Rose Garden. Were all those spears and towers that you grew? Where have they all fallen to? They're not here, are they? In other words, this is what we see inside the brown tube. Inside the brown tube, you say? What in the world are you talking about now? In this very moment, there is nothing at all in the Rose Garden. Sure, towers may have been sprouting with magic a short while ago, yeah, but everything is intact. But that's only until we learn that's inside the brown tube. It is your interpretation that it was a magical battle and that's nothing more than a claim. And the fact that there is nothing at all here right now is a proof of that. This is how I argue back about which battle is just now. Right now there isn't anything here, and that proves that nothing happened. You know, obviously I can make a huge mess right in the first Twilight, and I do like that Rose Garden, you see? To prevent any damage, I fought inside the barrier, so it's only natural that it wouldn't have any influence on reality. That is your claim? Well, I guess it works. However, My claim that, at this point in time, there is nothing on a rose garden, and therefore there was no magic, has not been abstracted in any way. Wait. Can you deny my magic with this mess? It is impossible to prove that magic does not exist. It's a devil's proof. The truth is a garden at this very moment. The instant you look inside, the tiny people inside the bronze tube will vanish. And there is no traces of magic here at all. So that battle between you and the witches did not take place. What? That counter? That power? Could it be? Have you forgotten, my lady? It is multiplanar world collapsion technique. The power of an infinite witch, which is a pair of the power of an endless witch. What the fuck? What are you talking about, guys? What are you talking about? Only the endless witch would be able to understand it, and it causes the strongest effect for the endless witch. Schrödinger cat box? Fuck off. That old hog of a witch wouldn't account for hint. Well, last time. With the 5 servants and a grandfather, there are 6 corpses. Let me check the scene. I've been tagging along, wasting time. From now on, I'll speed things up, okay? Ooh, pacing up. Take a seat, Beatrice. It's finally the first twilight, isn't it? Let's start the real thing. Show me what you've got. Ooh. Okay. Skirmish. Cute word. It's also cutely spelled. Look the way it's spelled. It's spelled really cute. Cute word. Skirmish. Really cute. The adult's motivation aside. Who's talking? Skirmish. Cute. The adult's motivations aside. At least for us kids, was supposed to be a fun couple of days where we cousins deepened our friendship. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us. George, Yankee, and Jessica were crying over Shannon and Colin's death. Oh, did we confirm? Who? What is this background? Right now, everyone who was alive was gathered in the lobby of the first floor at the guest house. Oh, it's a guest house? It looks awesome. There were 12 of us. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 up until yesterday. Are we gonna see the corpses? Are you gonna spoil to me in characters, please? Spoil me? Spoil me? Really? Still no? Huh. Okay. And in one night, a third of that number has lost their lives. Oh my god. I remembered something. I was playing some game. Maybe in the rogue, yeah. Maybe, just maybe. And it was visual novel, obviously. And in this visual novel, you couldn't click the text with the spacebar. This is insane. What is he doing? What are they doing? How can you not make a novel work with a spacebar? This is the one true way to play this, play in quotes, to play this shit. So unfair. What are they thinking? Sorry. And in one night, a third of that number has lost their lives. My agitation had finally settled down, and along with my lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel like this was just a little unreal. I went to think this is some kind of a bad dream. My cheap escapism kept telling me that was true over and over. Maya had gone back to sleep in the sofa Auntie Rosa was sitting in. Rather than her having nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep. Ooh. Excuse me? Why does it look like this in his hands? It was huge in Rosa's hands. Why the rifle looks so small in Krau's hands? Oh, it's not Kraus. How's his name? Totally important character whose name I totally remember. Rudolph, yeah. Of short barrel rifles. Apparently a remnant from the period where he was obsessed by westerns. They were 4 identical guns altogether. Those had been split up between 4 siblings: Uncle Kraus, Aunt Eva, my dad, and Auntie Rosa. Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table, and the siblings were silently loading their guns. It's a little scary. Even as I stand here touching this, I get the feeling Dad's about to yell, "Don't touch that and hit me." Then, aren't you lucky? No matter how much you touch it, it would be the hit again. Oh my god, are they gonna do like Battle Royale in here? Why would they give every sibling a gun? This is insane. I can't believe it. That father would met his kind of aunt. I did think that when it came to Kinzo-san, he would probably not die normal in his bed. But even so, it is too horrible. Hey, I wonder if that really is father? I'm suspecting that it might be a different person's corpse in a substitute to trick us. No, without a doubt, that is a father. You saw his toes, right? In general society, there aren't many humans with 6 toes on both feet. I forgot about that, and now I remember it. Like, why would they... Oh, isn't it connected to alchemy or something? Isn't there some alchemy shit about fingers? I remember I learned something like that when I was into Elden Ring lore. There was something about fingers? Oh my god, like in Elden Ring there is a lot of finger people, right? 6 toes on both feet. But we can't say that there are none. I've heard that polydacty isn't a rare disease. He was a man who liked big tricks, right? He might have prepared a body from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. Preposterous! What would possess him to do something like that? I'd agree if it was a normal person, but this is father we're talking about. You can say for sure that what Kiri-san says is nonsense. You can't say for sure that what Kiri-san says is nonsense. Then said, it's difficult to confirm the identity of a burned corpse. However, there should be various ways to examine him from his teeth and his bone structure. If the police investigates, they're bound to know whose body it was in an instant. The problem is that before the police, we need a telephone engineer. That boat probably won't come in this typhoon, so will it come tomorrow? I expect that boat will come again at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Then I believe we will be able to contact the police. Both us and the culprit have been imprisoned on the island then until the typhoon passes. Just from our parents' conversation, you could probably figure out the general gist, but let's explain the situation anyway. First, early that morning, in various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses of grandfather and his all servants had been found one after another. First, grandfather had been fed to the flames in the boiler room and was completely burnt. The servants were found dead, each looked in one of the various rooms throughout the mansion onto which magic circles had been drawn. The cause of death for the servant was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nanji's diagnosis, there was a high likelihood that they had been stabbed by something like a spear, or possibly shot by a gun. Ooh, that was why the adults started aiming themselves with rifles. And what made the situation even more chaotic was the telephone lines were out of order. It was unknown whether lightning has caused them to break down or whether the culprit was destroyed them. In any case, contact with the outside was broken off and we couldn't contact the police. So until tomorrow morning, where the typhoon would pass and the boat would come, we would have to protect ourselves. After all, Rikijima was now isolated by the typhoon. And just like how we were stuck on the island, so was the culprit. It seemed that the adults have stayed up the whole night, spending the whole time holding the family conference in the mansion's dining hall. And even so, this crime had occurred in the mansion. So right after the adults had been getting worked into a frenzy over money, the murderer has been killing under the same roof. Aunt Natsuki said that they were strict on locking the doors and windows at night, and yet some suspicious person had entered the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of a mansion was too large to be safe, so they had pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house where we had been. Which brings us to the present. Georgianiki and us others begged to see Shan Chan's body, but the adults refused point blank, saying that we must not until the police arrive. That wasn't just because they had sealed all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed 6 people has wandered about the mansion. To the Shinomiya family right now, the mansion, which should have been their home, was like a danger zone that an unknown murderer has entered. It makes sense, I mean, the mansion is vast. There are plenty of blind spots and dark places, and it's just too vast to guarantee about safety with this number of people. In contrast, the guest house is a much smaller building than the mansion. 2 stories tall, number of rooms about 10. Apparently, it had originally been constructed to serve as a boarding house for when the island has to be turned into a resort. So it's easy to grasp the entire structure, it's easy to guarantee safety. What makes it a good place to hole up in? And there is an extremely high likelihood that this mass murder of 6 people is a game, because the culprit had proclaimed that in a letter. I heard that Westenstein envelope with a family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, has been found in a boiler room where grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This was what the letter said. So there will be no misunderstandings. The game you seek is whether or not you can solve the riddle of the epitaph, nor whether you can catch me. If you do not solve the riddle of the epitaph, the pitiful sacrifice will further increase in number. It would be more wise to spend your time solving the epitaphs than searching for me. Huh. Who wrote this? Surely not Beatrice. If no one can solve the riddle of the epitaph, no one will survive. If a person appears that's skilled enough to solve the riddle of the epitaph, I will give them all the gold of a golden land, the Ushiramiya family headship, and all of my power. I was the one who succeeded the Ushiramiya family headship from Kinza-sama, and I look forward to seeing who will receive the headship for me. Beatrice is a golden. This riddle of the epitaph was the thing. The strange epitaph written in the same place as a portrait of a witch displayed in the hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the one who ordered that it be written, and the person who solved it would supposedly be given the family headship of the hidden gold or something like that. Ever since it was first displayed here several years ago, all the relatives, despite making fun of it in the open, has been secretly challenging the riddle in private. However, up until today, no one had solved it. We had once again been told to solve this unintelligible riddle, and this time we had been treating that as if we didn't solve it, we would all be killed. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Also, how is this called? It's called... what's the word? Can't remember. What's the word? It starts with E. E. How did I forget it? Okay, whatever. This part is boring. The part that introduces you to the concept over and over again to the same concept is super boring. How is this called? It has a name. Fuck me, whatever. I forgot. It wasn't a game that you would call it. The bold opinion that we should search the perimeter for the culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance they were armed, and there wasn't necessarily only one of them. And while they might be able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. In the end, the opinion that we would avoid carelessly antagonizing the culprit... Actually, great opinion? And hole up in a safe place where we waited for the police to arrive won out. Exposition. The word is exposition. Exposition in this game that repeats over and over again sucks. Those parts really hard pacing, which is not great overall. My recording of a stream goes exactly on the clocking of this clock, which is funny. I can see numbers switch with the sound effect. Amazing. After the adults had carefully checked the door and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. This place is awesome. To be fair, this is the comfiest background I ever saw in umineko. Like, I love those windows. Those are scary, actually. But you know, if you were in a cafe like this, it would be awesome. This looks really nice. Even though, look at the proportions of a bottle to like proportions of stools and the proportions of chairs and tables. So unreasonable. I love stuff like this. I love unproportional shit. Is this like a fireplace here? On a wall that we can see? What is this little like golden thingy on the floor? Huh. After the adults had carefully checked that the door and the windows in the guest house were locked, they set up a camp in the lobby. And as they fingered their guns to distract themselves from the tension, their expression showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had been still barely begun. Oh, I get it. I get it. I don't even know why I'm so exhausted. I just feel it. There was nothing that I could do. Now, all I could do was being taught how to use a gun, to prepare for the off chance that something would happen which led to an excess of guns. That's the way. Just obediently stay here, me and the rest of you. 6 people in the beginning again. In this game, it's grandfathers and all of the servants put together. Most likely, the child has carelessly studied your moves from the last game, and she plays the highest priority upon taking the pieces which she guessed you were most likely to first suspect. That makes sense, both last time and the time before that. Did it though? Did it? I feel like killing servants is insane. Are we... Oh, we've got Virgilia entry. Okay, let's read for her. Retired endless witch, the Beatrice's master, made proper use of her endless magic and dedicated her life to happiness and smiles of people. What are you doing, lady? Taught Beatrice an endless magic and retrieved believing that Beatrice would devote herself to people in the same way. As well as being Beatrice's master, she was also the consoling mage of Beatrice's old home. For this reason, Virgilia interacted with her in the manner of a servant. It is said that this was response for calling Beatrice's egoism and excessiveness. Yet again, for some reason, can't click on human sites nor witch side. Good, now I can. Oh, great. Shirime Kinzo discovered as a burned corpse from the incinerator in the underground boiler room. Why he always burnt? As there were Danganronpa's music, to be fair, as there were no signs that he fought to get out of an incinerator, it seemed reasonable to think that he was burned after he was murdered. Too bad this time, game over right at the very start. Renault Genji, corpse discovered in the second floor VIP room. The murder weapon is assumed to be a gun or a spear-shaped object. In appreciation for his many years of service, Genji shall be permitted to sleep in the VIP room. Koki, okay. Corpse discovered in a parlor on the first floor. The murder weapon is assumed to be a gun and a spear-shaped object. For Shannon, the parlor, whose views of a rose garden was beautiful in the days. What is this? What is this? Friendly gestures in the end. Aren't you fucking hated, all of them? Corpse discovered in a chapel. The murder weapon assumed to be gun, a spear-shaped object. This chapel, the chapel for Kanan, even after death, keep on protecting the place important to the Lord. So it doesn't seem like Beatrice wrote this either. Corpse discovered in the third floor servants' quarters. The murder weapon is assumed to be a gun and a spirit-shaped object. He wanted to gain Kinza's favor. The room next to his study is appropriate for him. This came really out of nowhere. Is it Virgilia was really part of fucking Kumasawa out of all people? This was weird. Corpse discovered in the second floor guest room. The murder weapon is assumed to be a gun or a spear-shaped object. The seldom used guest room on the second floor was his secret napping spot. Yeah, they always did like justice in their death. I mean, it even was kind of honored in some cases. What's up with that? Who the fuck is a culprit then? Okay, that makes sense, both last time and the time before that. The servants who know everything about the mansion and who walk around them with Master Key were always highest of the list of suspicious people. Yeah, I mean, they were suspicious, but I don't think any of them had a motive. But to be fair, I don't know a lot about them. Servants, aside from like Canon and Shannon, are not really... What's the word? Developed as a characters. A good example is the last game in Jessica's locked room. If I had only accepted that the servant was a culprit, that wouldn't even have been a locked room. Therefore, the child went straight for them. She probably immediately went to block the way of escape that she would ultimately repeat into. We had already proclaimed in red that there is no more than 18 people on this island, so basically, she's saying give it up. Now I have to suspect from the 18. So the child will probably come at you by stealing the pieces of the 18 and descending as an 18th person who shouldn't exist, thereby making you accept that she is a witch. That is because now that her intimidation strategy of trying to force you to submit by showing your magic was failed, she can only make a frontal attack. Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore. Be careful. Deception is a witch's strongest point. No matter what the child says or shows you, it's definitely worth treating the truth that you believe in. Don't forget that. Sure, I'll be damned if the same moves are going to work at me over and over. Get out here, Beatrice. Let's get started. I'm already seated at the march table. My turn too is already complete. Imagine that Madame would turn out to be our enemy. How unfortunate, lady. Our moves will be read carefully. There is no problem. Master's moves are all outdated classics. There is nothing to fear. What moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you? I'm looking forward to seeing, Beatrice. Isn't that right, Butler? You're the person who denies witches such yourself accept a witch as a strategist. That stupid provocation is useless. The person is my advisor, no, my second. So it doesn't change one bit that this is a fist fight between you and me. I understand. You're so wobbly that you probably need training wheels on your bicycle. Do as you like. Come, begin. It is your turn. Let's begin with the construction of a crime scene. Virgilia, if you please. She now like a assistant woman. This is cute. This is cute dynamic. The first body discovered was Shannon's. She was found in the parlor of the first floor of the mansion. The door and the windows were locked and a locked room was established. Clarification requires for Beata confirms the definition of a locked room. The term locked room refers to a room where the inside and the outside of the room are completely isolated from all travel between them. Of course, no form of intrusion or escape, nor even any interference is possible. There is comprehensive, including the denial of hidden doors, as well as all margin for interference from the outside. Henceforth, this definition will be regarded as Beatrice locked room definition. Confirm specifics define margin for interference from the outside. It refers to all the type of direct interference from the outside, such as using fishing lines or long-thin rods. In other words, you are to conclude that there is not even any gap in the door or window by which to use a stick trick. I wonder about this. Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with the radio waves, like with a remote control, right? Very well. I outed this definition that it is impossible for radio waves and related methods of remote control to interfere. There is also an extension telephone in the parlor, a device linked with the world that wouldn't count as a remote control, right? The phones are already out of order, damn you. This is a pain. I'll include that too. All direct and indirect methods of interfering from the outside to the room to the inside of a locked room are impossible. What about voice or a knock? Those should be able to interfere from outside without entering the room, right? Even though it is a locked room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out. Whether the room allows for human communication with the outside or not, it does not go against the definition of a locked room. Huh. Okay. In other words, you can't define it, so even the method of communication are interrupted? In that case... Understood. So Shannon Chan's parlor satisfied Beatrice's locked room definition? That is correct. Locked room definition understood. Continue, Virgilia. Yes. Shan's body was in possession of one master key. The relatives who discovered her collected this. Repetition requested for Beato. How many master keys this time? Oh, they played court, like full on. Okay. The same as the last time. These are 5, 1 for each servant. Which means this still isn't a locked room. Wasn't Keenza supposed to have some kind of key? Why we never questioning it? Which means this isn't a locked room. There are still 4 master keys left. It just means that after Shan Chan was murdered, one of the other 4 keys locked it. That is correct, and it wasn't only a master key that was found. Yes. Alongside the body there was a western envelope with family crest. Inside the letter, the key to the second floor guest room was inside it. The key to the second floor guest room. Am I fine to define that as the only key? Am I fine to define... Why would they make this? This is discriminations to people who can't read. What is this? Am I fine to define that as the only key, other than the master keys, that can open the door to the second floor guest room? Indeed, there is no problem, and unlike the master keys, there is only one. In other words, in order to unlock this specific room, in addition to the 5 master keys, there is only one other key. In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the second floor guest room next. So the adults move to the second floor What is this? This is fun as hell. What the fuck? This is like... an escape room? With fucking corpses, discovering corpses. This is kinda... sociopathic, but still fun. Yes. Yes? What? The door to the second floor guest room was also locked and the magic circle was drawn in it. The relatives unlock it with a key that has found near Shan's body. This is fun. Inside the room, Kumasawa's body was discovered. The room was a locked room. The definition is based upon Beatrice's locked room definition. Kumasawa was in possession of one master key. This voice is easier out of all the voices to do because it's so chill. I just feel like I talk right now, to be fair. The relatives collect this. And like Shannon, there was a western envelope discovered alongside her. Inside there was a key to the 3rd floor servants' quarters. The relatives moved to the 3rd floor servants' quarters. And there was a magic circle on the floor on this... And there was a magic circle on the door to the 3rd floor servants' quarters, and that door was locked? Yes. Inside the room, Kora's body was discovered. The room was a locked room, based on Beatrice's locked room definition. Goro was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And just as before, a western envelope with a family seal was discovered. Inside was a key to the second floor VIP room. The relatives moved to the second floor VIP room. What is all of this? What the hell are you planning? It isn't something worth glaring at me over, is it? It is a locked room, but there are still several master keys that can open it, correct? And I have even been dutiful enough to present you with the keys particular to each room in addition to the master keys. I don't like how this is going, but I'm starting to see how things will turn out. So it continued like this for all 6 people? Yes, this is correct. Inside the second floor VIP room, Genji's body was discovered. 1 master key was collected. The key to the underground boiler room was discovered. They moved to the underground boiler room. Inside the underground boiler room, Kinza's body was discovered. The key to the chapel was discovered. They moved to the chapel. In how long they do it? Like 40 minutes? Really? Inside the chapel, Kanan's body was discovered. Oops. Sorry? 1 master key was collected. The key to the first floor parlor was discovered. With this, a reconstruction of how all 6 bodies were discovered is complete. A supplement. Along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in a western envelope found near Kinza's body. The contents of the letter were as you saw. It furthest urged the relatives to solve the epitaph's riddle. In that case, what's going on? If the last place was Kana-kun had the key to the very first room, the parlor where Shan was, that makes 6 locked rooms all tied together, right? This is fun as hell! Good job, Beatrice! For making this shit happen. This is super cool. Beato, my beloved. Oops, sorry, I just wanted to move myself. Hey, sorry. That is correct. The 6 locked rooms are all tied together. The keys to unlock each are all shut up inside the next room. In other words, the 6 locked rooms form one massive locked room, and all of the master keys as well as the individual room keys are shut up inside it. Furthermore, all of the doors and windows in the 6 rooms are normal. No devices exist which can lock them without a key such as an autolock. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, haha. As I said, lady, there is no dignified. When an hour rebuked her, Beata stuck her tongue at him shamelessly. Hee, sorry. I just get in such a good mood playing with Butler. So, Butler, what is your move going to be? If you can't think of anything in particular, I can show you how I made the goats carry the bodies, and sealed all of the rooms with magic, if you want. Do what you want. I'll listen respectfully to this magic theory that you assert. However, I can assert my human theory, which is completely different from your claim, without any interference from your claim whatsoever. So, in other words, there is no need for me to listen to your bullshit. In other words, fuck you, Beatrice. Go over your magic stuff or whatever as much as you like and act how you lock the room with your 7-colored magic. 7-colored magic? And before long, I'm sure there'll be people alone to stand beside you advertising their snake oil and all-purpose kitchen knives. This one is good. Virgilia, reconstruct the crime scene. I'll search for the weakness. Were all they definitely dead? If one of them is just plain dead, this isn't a locked room at all. Nanja checked all of them when they were dead. However, due to his devil's proof, it is impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong diagnosis. In other words, she cannot make a likelihood that Nanja overlooked the fact that they were alive equal to 0. Here it is. That's devil's proof, but there exists a sword which can carve it up. What are those people doing? Looks like they aren't having a good time leaving me out of this discussion. I am their opponent, right? They could pay attention to me at least a little. Oh, she's upset. By nature, communication with the opponent is not necessary in order to complete his chest. You spoke in riddles when you communicated outside your moves, my lady. Perhaps it has come to this because he does not want to be led astray. For some reason, I can't accept it. You're challenging him to chess match, are you not, my lady? That's true, but... But did you pout your cheeks as though saying, I don't know why, but I don't like it? Why is she like this? Because the police have not yet arrived at the scene, all human side's ability to prove things is limited. First is strict confirmation of death. I recommend a repetition requested. Alright, that's where I strike. Repetition requested. The 6 victims are all dead. Milady, you have a repetition requested waiting, you know? Hey, enough lazing around. Do you decline the repetition? This is where our battle starts. Huh? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, that's fine, I'll respond. Clink. Kinza, Genji, Shannon, Kanan, Goten, Kumasawa. These 6 are all dead. Why are you so out of it? Alright, so I've drawn one out for you. I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. It's so hard to do this. Oh my god, can we take a break? I need to go pee and kind of like chill for a second. Let me go take a break. Be right back in like a second, okay? In like a minute, another second. It's fine. Ouch. Sorry. I'm eating some marshmallows. Maybe sugar can give me some, you know, make me more active. I feel so exhausted. I feel as if I was climbing mountains and I didn't leave my fucking room for like a week. Last time I was out, it was last week. Jesus Christ. I hope I'm gonna be fine. I love marshmallows. I love sugar. I also have a chocolate here. Did I eat a little bit of chocolate? I even consume my like daily dose of caffeine today in the form of lemon tea. But I still feel like shit. What's up? What's going on? Am I gonna die? It's a tumor. It's not a tumor, you little shit. I'm gonna strangle you. Sorry. I need to like at least read. Sorry for eating, for talking and eating. Hold on. I need to at least stream for like another hour and a half, maybe. I am, So, you know, if you survive streams when you have really low energy, you feel kind of good about it. So like, at least we need to at least stream for like hour and a half. I mean, I already did an hour, right? Isn't it great? You're just also exhausted because the game doesn't give me anything. Game just repeats the same shit over and over again with the same words, and I'm like, can you just be interesting? Can I have another like insane batshit battle of towers or something? Like, what is this? You're not drawing any new elements in it. You're just switching this a little bit, and you're repeating all the same shit over and over again. It's kind of tiring. Can I have like more witches? What about Eva that's supposed to become a witch? Where is this shit? What about Lambra Delta? What about Federica? Where are all of them? I wanna have like some fun. There is no fun in repeating content, guys. Especially if a game loop is fucking sucks too. You know? Also, the sound is too loud for me. My little ears. Also, my ears got fucked today and yesterday too. Unfortunately. I mean, not literally. They were just, you know, blown out. And I feel really sick, and I couldn't hear on the one ear. Oh, maybe I'm just sick. Maybe I feel that way because I'm really sick or something, and I can't realize why. Why am I sick? It's so hard to be me. It's so hard to understand what I'm feeling. Whatever. Sorry. I know it sucks. Yeah. Oh no! Making voices is also so hard when I'm like this. It's okay, it's okay. The next time I'm gonna be streaming, I'm gonna be so healthy and so sane, and I'm gonna have so much fun, and the story not gonna suck, too. Why are you so out of it? Alright, oh my god, literally me, she's literally me. Alright, so I've done one out of you, that classic where they all pretend to be dead, is the first one to be denied. I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me how you like. This slice was a slantwise, one after another. Oh, I'm so gonna die. I also have a wisdom teeth growing. Just like fucking in the process. Jesus Christ, why am I like this? Why my body is my greatest freaking enemy? My freaking ears. Look at them. They doesn't have this problem that I have, probably. Fuck them. And again, repetition requested. No one is hiding in any of the 6 rooms. Show me that you can deny the existence of people we aren't aware of. I'll respond. Doo-doo. There is no one hiding in the 6 rooms. Alright. Now I'm sure there is only the 6 of them counted here. And they aren't pretending to be dead. What will you do? What will you do? There's already nothing a human could do. Obediently kneel and observe as I control the logs at will with my wonderful magic, alright? Quit bubbling. Sorry. Quit bubbling. And another repetition requested. The 6 deaths were instant. Why would you ask that? Instant death? What do you mean by that? Define instant death? It means there is possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room, and after locking it from the inside to create the locked room, they passed away. A classic locked room murder. In that case, that the victim is dealt a fatal wound and is doomed to die at some later time. It is possible for the victim to haul up inside the room to escape the murder, and then die after locking it, in which case a locked room could be constructed unexpectedly. In order to deny that possibility, you will need to proclaim that the 6 died instantly with the red truth. Very well, very well. I slay you. I'll slay with my red treasured sword. The 6 died instantly. By instant death, I mean as soon as they were attacked, they became incapable of action. Well, death in its full meaning may have taken several seconds or even minutes, but in any event, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will. In that case, I can state that they died instantly. Everything up until now has just been checking for a classic locked room. My shutdown with you over the locked room starts now, alright? If the culprit isn't on the inside, they are on the outside. So they somehow killed them from outside the rooms. Have you lost your mind? Isn't it true that a locked room murder is impossible from the outside? Therefore, it is impossible for it to be anything other than a magic murder. No, that's wrong. The right thing to say is a murder really happened, it is in a locked room. A murder really happened, equal it is in a locked room. Ooh. No matter how much you speak in riddles, it definitely isn't a locked room. It's a sham that only looks like a locked room. Ooh. However, Butler Soma, only the victims are inside the rooms, and no other people exist inside the rooms. And by my latest locked room definition, remote murders from outside the room have been clearly denied, have they not? Wait, the definition of remote murder is vast, right? Sure, there's stuff like pulling a fishing line from outside the room and strangling the victim inside the room, but that's not all there is. For example, a trap would make an excellent remote murder. A trap? Huh, what is that? You don't know what trap is, honey? Just an example, let's say they were instructed to enter previously decided rooms and lock the room from the inside to create a locked room themselves. A trap is set up in those rooms that they don't know about, and they are killed by that. How's that? Now there is no contradiction. There is no problem in corresponds to the existing state. There is no problem on his side either. It does not conflict with my lady locked room definition. What's with its stupid reasoning? Nothing suspicious was found in any other rooms, you know? What form did the trap take? What form did the trap have? Were... Were... Where was it hidden? How did it operate? Explain for all the 6 people in the parlor, the guest room, the servants' quarters, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel. Haha, Beatrice, I do not have to explain to you anything. The locked room, the devil's proof does not mean that I have to explain anything to you, Beatrice. I just need to put out a possibility on the table, and you have to define it. Haha. Well, you can you? Decline refutation. There is no need for me to explain that, and even so, it doesn't damage my claim. What did you say? Beatrice, it's a devil's proof. The fact that he cannot explain the form of a trap does not itself disprove that there was a trap. Real? Real? Well done. Well, overbearing, a wonderful move. This guy is getting close, completely used to this. What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? You went full on anime, like, huh? Fuck. Okay, sorry. I'm eating another chocolate. Munch munch. Tasty. I have so much chocolate at my disposal, but I'm gonna try and practice restraint and not eat all of it at the same time. Especially because I don't actually crave chocolate that much. I used to crave chocolate a lot. Check! It is possible to establish locked room murder via murder trap X that they couldn't find. I'll kill the check with the red truth. Will you? The 6 were not killed by traps. The definition of trap? Oh, one of those. Something that activates when a victim gets caught in by their own action. Isn't that she didn't know what trap is? Like, fucking kills her red text here? No? Why this game doesn't follow its own logic? Like, why they didn't address that Beatrice could lie in those? I mean, they do address shit, but with time for some reason. Why didn't they immediately address shit when you need it to be addressed? Like, this is the first thing that comes to your mind. She's just lying, and text is just red. She's a witch, she could say anything. I understand that it's better, like, more logical if she wasn't lying for the sake of structure of a game and, like, for the people, for the player to try to solve these mysteries, but holy shit. Like, right here, she just lied. She didn't know what trap is. One of those, something that activates when a victim gets caught in it by their own actions. That's not all. Stuff that activates stuff by remote control or by timer. Everything like that is also included. What about bear trap? To be fair, I'm like imagining bear traps every time I say trap. What about trap is like animatronic that tries to kill you, you know, like from FNAF? The Z goes after the finish. All devices that can carry out a murder without the direct participation of the person who sets it up. I believe that definition may be appropriate. How's that? I'll struck back, as though I could let a human defeat this locked room. You also frantic trying to win, huh? What? What do you mean? You're also frantically fighting to make me accept that you exist. Until now, I thought that I was just being toyed around with one-sided by you. But that was actually wrong. You also frantically resisted my comeback, fighting to show that you exist. Ooh, guys, you on equal grounds. Wow. Now, I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me about whether I'll submit or not. This is a fight between you and me on an equal footing! Ooh! Alright, it's starting to get interesting, isn't it? 6 people died in locked rooms and no one else was inside. And there was no meddling from the outside and also no traps. If I was still how I used to be, I would probably think that this has to be the work of magic. And if you had acted out some strange magic right about now, I'd probably have ever surrendered. It's that favorite strategy of yours. You completely intercept all of my moves, and in the movement that I've tried everything and fallen on my knees, when my heart's defensive power at its weakness, you show off some strange magic and take the game all at once. She has always had a short temper. She still has a bad habit of rushing things when the victory is inside. Because my lady cannot stand putting things off. Hey, shut up, shut up! It is your turn, butler. The truck piece that you advanced, I have cut down with red. What will you send out next time? Show me what you've got. Right. Now that the even traps have been defeated, at a glance this looks like a perfect locked room murder. And that's why this is where I flip over the chessboard. Here is your special technique. What exactly are you going to flip over and how? Try showing me. Yeah, I'll show you. It's not about thinking how to kill 6 people inside locked rooms from the outside. Yeah, that's no good, no goddamn good at all. That's right, it's not about how to kill from the outside. It's about how they died inside the room and created a locked room. That's it, this is the answer. If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit, this locked room can be explained extremely easy. What? No way! I believe I clearly said in red that the 6 of them were dead. 6 people did die. 5 were victims who were killed. If you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this locked room. Yeah, good theory, actually. Certainly. If the culprit locked themselves in the final locked room and threw away their own lives, this locked room chain would be established. Also, to be noted that Butler suspects the person who already died, who was, you know, a real person. The culprit's suicide. Normally it is an unthinkable move, but the argument that it doesn't exist because if it's unthinkable, it doesn't exist. And he has no responsibility to demonstrate a motive. A truly powerful move which can only be used in chess match against a witch. Well, you cannot say for certain there is no motive. For example, Kinzer has been pronounced as having only a short time to live. The motive of using his own death as a message, not being afraid to lose his short remaining life, may not be possible to attach. Milady, it is our turn. To imagine that you would ever trample on my dignity of a dead to create a culprit. What a heartless, cold-blooded man! Setting up the dead as a culprit. That move is worse than inhuman, and it's one you used to attack Kanan-kun in the last game. I'm taking a shock barbecue with this move, as a tribute to Kanan-kun for that time, even though the games are different. Just now, I have freed that Kanan-kun from his regrets. You have no duty to hold back here. You should check whether suicide was not the cause of death for any of them. I recommended requesting a repetition. Right, but suicide is a naive word that won't corner her, Beata. This is the end. Repetition requested. The 6 deaths were all homicides. This is painful. Oh. What's wrong? 6 people were killed, right? I'm just checking the simplest premise we all have at the very beginning, aren't I? Can you repeat it? I decline to repeat. There is no reason in particular. Refusing to repeat this is the same as reciting, you know? Checkmate. One of the 6 was the culprit, and I carried out the suicide after constructing the locked room. We're done. Wait. No, I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll use the red like you want. None of the 6 committed suicide. My brain doesn't work. Why would she hesitate? Why did she hesitate? Like, she made all of this up, to be fair, but now's what? Are you satisfied? I've struck back. Why are you acting like this, honey? What the hell? So you can't say it. But isn't it weird? Why are you so panicked? It's your imagination. I'm also frantic this time, you see? I don't have much leeway. Don't pay it any mind. The repetition you requested has been modified. Do not be fooled. What? And the client repeat, that was painful. The 6 deaths were all homicides. What type of... what it can be if it's not homicide or suicide? Accident? Right? Accident doesn't clarify as homicide nor as suicide. Why didn't she say homicides? None of the 6 committed suicide. Fucking ICE attorney for sure. There's for sure some fan art with the draws Beatrice standing on a ICE attorney stand and a Butler as a Phoenix Wright. Hoo, it seems it was useless, milady. That's right. She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides. She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide, which means that one or more of the people was not killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide. I've got it! This is the truth. After the culprit acts who lurk among the 6 murdered only 5, they constructed the locked room. They had planned to escape from it or hide the room by some method. However, there was an accident. The culprit died from an accident that even they hadn't expected and constructed a locked room that even they hadn't desired. Now it's over, Beatrice. Checkmate. Huh. So out of all of these locked rooms, the one that we know less about and the less was talked about was the second one, and now we in the third chapter. Damn it. Did you think I would be cornered by something like that? I would never scream my resignation over something like that. I slice up that foolish checkmate with my red treasured sword over and over again. Among the 6 there were... What are you doing? Huh? My apologies. Our side requests some time to strategize. Please allow us a brief postponement. It is just request. I believe there should be no problem. Sure, I'll allow it. I've been given those a lot lately. This time it's your turn to use it. Thank you very much. Come, lady, this way. And let us quietly count to 100 inside our heads. What? Why? What is she saying? What? As Beata grew suddenly panicked and agitated, Renaud quickly covered her mouth with his hand and suspended the game. And he then pulled Beata away in the name of strategy conference. Damn. Cursed demon butler. When Beata got it all hot, this was an ideal chance to corner her. Beata normally behaves elegantly, but she actually has a really short temper and gets mad easily. Literally me. Her normal intelligence falls silent when she starts getting agitated. When now it's composed, he probably gave the child some time to cool her head. The child was stubbornly trying to remove your check, and was going to easily let several large pieces go. After all, the first fight is only skirmish. She said the title chapter... No? Title chapter? It makes sense, right? It does, okay. The child mistook her timing. So, what does that mean? Did I create a checkmate, or didn't I? The child was going to proclaim it in internet. It probably wouldn't have become checkmate yet. But I imagine, yeah, she would say something that would pull her out. The child will proclaim her resignation once she has cooled her head. Surely not, even though she hates losing? Yes, in a losing battle, it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try to minimize your losses. The difficult part is measuring whether it's all losing battles or not. It seems that the child's butler calmly made this decision. Oh well, in other words, she got away with only a second to spare. Look like I won't be getting checkmate and delivering the final blow so easily. However, you should measure this as your victory. They seem to have just barely prevented a large loss. But without a doubt, you dealt considerable damage. I'm sure you were able to understand. Sorry. I'm sure you were able to understand well the depths of this wound by watching the way she panicked. Seriously, this feels like she'd start crying if I believed her any more than this. Poor girl. To be fair, Beatrice in the earliest chapters and Beatrice now is kind of different person, isn't it? Especially when we learn about Beatrice that was a homunculus. She started acting like completely different in my eyes. She became more childish? That's a not character development that I like. Didn't read. As we talked, Renault returned with Beato, who wore a meek expression. She didn't have the same bold smile as usual, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore. Hey, it's your turn. Did you decide your next move? I resign. For now, I will let you have your victory. Beata told me that frankly. It seemed as though she had taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It was a bit of buzzkill, and I lost my desire to attack her further. Well, now that you resign, in the end, all that means is that we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other. I'll treat it more like a tie than a loss. I don't need you disgusting compassion. I say that this time it is my loss. When you find a dog drenched with rain, are you inclined to whack it with a stick or something? Nope. Unlike you. Ooh. Even though she ridiculed me horribly when I showed the signs of defeat, she was so pathetic when it was her turn. I thought of her as a pretty unfair person, but I decided to act with dignity as a winner accepted. Oh? I was red for a second? Okay, sorry. I hope it wasn't awful. Dropped frames? I wonder what happened. Beata had resigned. It was the only result of the first twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move of one of the six was the culprit. That person died in an accident. Oh, she probably could have countered it, but because of some strategic decision, she had given up. I felt less like I was won and more like she had escaped me one step from victory. Why would she say this? Who are they talking about? What about if we put into account the events that happen in the beginning of a chapter? Who are they talking to? Genji killed Shannon and Kanan, right? Did Genji kill himself? I don't remember already. Sorry, another chocolate time. In chess against the witches, it is possible to battle onward solely using pieces called the X, which doesn't need explanation. Thanks to the devil's proof, I can create... Sorry. and create as many strange fictions as I want and use them to fight in an argument. But that's only within the context of chess with a witch. In a human world, such an abstract story can explain anything. Real? True? The first failure today was a chain of 6 locked rooms. It certainly may be possible for a human, but it hasn't been able to completely deny everything. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime, why, and how they actually did it. I shouldn't say this having won, but I get the feeling that it would have felt less muddled if I had just been told right out by Beatrice that it was completely possible for a human. Although I hide beside these abstract pieces called eggs, I couldn't deny that some kind of unmistakable, unthinkable, creepy intentions had definitely pervaded this mansion. The key to the Golden Land. Uh-oh. Oh, is it gonna be Eva's chapter? I feel like game plays me well. I feel like when game wants me to question everything, I question everything, but when games wants me to not question anything, I don't question anything. The most sane statement out of all. Really, really precise. What I'm trying to say is when games, to be fair, when they started like huge anime battle with towers, I was like, yeah, that should probably exist. But we still need to deny her. But now I'm like, yeah, that she probably don't exist, but we still have to deny her because of another word that I forgot, because of the framing. Yeah. The true enemy of holding a fort probably isn't the fear of unseen enemies. It's whether you can keep it going over a long period of time. Oh, Maria's here. Hello. When we gonna have like Maria doing some insane things? Maria had gotten bored and had started making arucas because she wanted to watch TV. Since there is no TV in the lobby, she decided to return to the... Eh. Sorry. Since there was no TV in the lobby, she decided to return to the cousin's room upstairs. The dolls probably didn't want to leave Maria all on her own, amongst other reasons. They told all the children to go to the cousin's room upstairs. George, his heart wounded by the loss of his fiancée, had no willpower to resist that and led the cousins upstairs. At first, Nanjo had been reading a book in the lobby, but when he noticed that the relatives looked like they wanted to talk about something shady, he said, "It seems I'm in a way," and returned to the room upstairs. Wasn't Nanjo the most suspicious one here, guys? Aren't you supposed to keep an eye on him? I'm starving, and if I keep just sitting around, my drowsiness will be even worse. It's only natural, because we didn't sleep last night. You should take turns and sleep. We will probably end up barricaded here for all 24 hours. Maybe better to take naps in turns instead of overstressing ourselves, yeah. I agree. My husband and I will be here, so anyone who finds this difficult should rest without overdoing it. They may be expecting that, you know? They may not be able to defeat this many people, but if that number was reduced by a certain amount, they may plan to use that to their advantage. Just sleep here. Like, what's the problem? Do like 4 pairs of people? Oh, you can do 4 pairs of people. Oh, can you? I mean, 2 pairs of people. I'm talking about 2 pairs of people, not 4 pairs of people. 4 pairs of people, it's overall. Like, we have Kraus and Natsuhi and Eva and Hideyoshi. For example, these 4, they are staying up, and Kiri, Rudolph, and Rosa. Yes, they probably need to put Nanjo here. as well. Kitty, Rudolph, and Rosa and Nanjo should be the second pair, and you should switch. And you should sleep in this room, so if someone comes, you could be on easy alert, you know? It's really easy strategy. Oh, used to the advantage. There are 7 of us here. 2 of us could rest for 3 hours at a time. It's a long time until tomorrow morning. We still have some energy now, but tonight's gonna be the tough. Sure will be. Anyone sleepy? Don't overdo it. Rest. Hideyoshi looked around at everyone who wanted to sleep first, but no one volunteered. Really, guys? I would volunteer first, for sure. Oh, but I'm insomniac, so it doesn't happen. It doesn't help a lot, actually. Everyone was just as tired, but no one was bold enough to be able to sleep now. Really? Really? I mean, I know people died, but still. Her fear of the unknown culprit was just as strong as his sleepiness. Just sleep in here, you have a sofa on the other side. Nobody? Well, don't ever do it, Teddy Bear. If we get tired, we can think about it then. I certainly am tired, but I'm in no mood now. Eva spoke sharply. Yeah, well, who give a fuck about your mood? It's not about your mood, baby. It's about being practical and having people who sleep at least for a little bit. It's not what you want, it's about what you need to do for overall happiness of all the people that is here. I mean, not happiness, just just security. Beatrice had sent them 2 letters and had repeatedly told them to solve the riddle of epitaph, and she had been provoked them by saying she would give up the inheritance, both assets and headship, if she could be solved. Eva took out the notebook and opened it to the page with the epitaph copied onto it. Is that the epitaph? Yes. Although it is annoying to do as the culprit says. After all, we do have time to waste. I think it's a perfect way to starve of boredom. Not a bad way to kill time. Why don't we challenge it together as siblings? Can I borrow that? I'll rewrite it just a little larger. Natsuki-san, do you have a slightly larger piece of paper? There should be paper in the servants' room. I'll bring some. Natsuki immediately brought a B4 blank sheet paper from the servants' room. B4 is pretty small, no? Oh, what? Hold on, B4 Googling time? Bing.com? B4 for Oh, B4 is like A4, really? Where's where people use B format? We only use A. A0. I mean, A0 is obvious. What about B? B5? B0? And those are a little bit different from A4? B4 format, where to use. B4 is quite common in a printed music sheet. B5 is relatively common choice for books. Really? B7 is equal to password size. Eh? Passport size. Oh, passport size. Okay. Run button. Many posters use B series paper to close approximation. B4, B5, B6 are used for envelopes that will hold C series envelopes. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Okay, sorry. Kitty borrowed Eva's notebook, wrote out the epitaph on the paper, and laid it out on the table. Straight away, everyone peered down at it. A fence of people naturally formed. Fence of people. I heard about it, but really, this is a tough riddle. I don't have a clue what it's talking about. At one point, I also did my best to challenge it, but I was just as clueless. If we didn't know, we wouldn't have come all the way out here with a plan to make money. After all, it's a 10 tons of gold. This is the first time I've read it seriously, but roughly speaking, couldn't it be split into 3 parts? I've been thinking the same since last time, but you really do seem to have a good thinker, Kiri-san. It is possible that you could easily solve this riddle that we couldn't. Yeah, Kiri's sharp. She might be able to tackle it in an interesting way if we don't give her any strange preconceptions. Yeah, Kiri-san, will you let us hear your honest thoughts having read the epitaph? Kiri-san is cool. I think it probably won't be very useful to all of you. You all give me too much credit. No way, anything that comes to mind would be helpful. Let us hear what you have to say. Because your hints always help me when I'm worried. Oh, so they were helpful? It's nice to finally hear about this now. Come on, don't I always thank you? You two do get along well. I'm jealous. And the rest of us would also love to accept your hints. It's alright, we'll just kill in time anyway, so why not relax? Didn't you say you don't want to sleep? Kiri was bewildered by all the praise she's suddenly receiving. Uh-oh, it doesn't lead to anything good for sure. But they had plenty of time. She realized that this was just a way to waste time and she decided to accept the role. I'm sure I'll say something of the mark, but... well, I put forward my ideas. What did you mean in the beginning about how, roughly speaking, it would be divided into 3 parts? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, I just mean what I said. I think that overall the epitaph can be divided into 3 parts. What do you mean 3 parts? Isn't it 2? First there are 5 lines to add, including there is a key to the golden land. There is a key to the gold sleeps. Up until this point, the first part, which points to the location of a key. And then there is a part formed by 11 lines up until 10th twilight, which refers to the location of the golden land itself. Yeah? Oh, yeah, it does indeed. It's 3 different parts. I mean, that's obvious. Why would you pronounce it out loud? Oh, fuck, wrong button. Right? It's super obvious. And the remaining 6 lines makes up the part of the golden land has been reached. Uh-oh, somebody calling me, but I'm not answering. I'm streaming. I see. The key to the golden land and the golden land's treasure, it can be divided into these 3 parts. Even if you have been able to grasp it much, the 3 sections that refer to the key, the door, and the treasure. Nisan, don't bite it any more than you have to. Let Kiri-san speak your ideas freely. Kiri, please continue. You recognize the same pain regarding what you have said. So then? I wonder what this thing in the beginning, the beloved home of world, means. Think about it normally, would it refer to grandfather's home? Since he explicitly mentioned that it's beloved, I can't imagine that it's a home he thought about very deeply. Didn't father come from Adavara? Adavara is definitely where he was born, but I don't think this home father loved was Adavara. I believe all of his siblings are thinking of the same place. Yes, it's probably isn't Adavara. From what I've heard... Oh, why so many insects flying around me? What's going on? Isn't it in middle of the October? Next month is November. Why are all insects not dead yet? Excuse me? Yeah, it's probably isn't Odagawa from what I heard. He had a very fun time as a youth. That greatest misfortune in his life was probably being made the Shiramiya family head. Probably, but I really hadn't wanted to become the Shiramiya family head. So, where is it? And there is a river where sweetfish swim? Maybe there was at a time. I'm sure that there had been a lot of development here by now, so the sweetfish might have disappeared. It would be extremely difficult to investigate whether there was sweetfish were during the time grandfather was a boy. don't think it's that literal. Literal. Kawa Ayu. Oh my god, is it gonna be like Japanese wordplay or something that my damas can't comprehend? It could be. There is not just one river either. I believe we all investigated thoroughly in a geographical sense. You even went to the actual place to investigate directly, didn't you, Eva? That was only his vacation, but the downscape had changed completely from father's time. After all, there was a war in between. It was impossible to even figure out where the father actually lived. Go away, little fly, go away. And at times like this, you regret killing all the spiders in your fucking room. Probably even if father dragged himself to an actual location, by now even he wouldn't be able to determine where it was that he lived. They have had a remarkable revival over here after all. Doesn't any place name come clearly to mind after hearing Sweetfish River? Not really. I mean, they're sweetfish, right? People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless rivers we could guess at. Any seems that innocently led sweetfish fishing in probably buried by the development later. It would be different if we had a mob from before the war, or a person who knew a lot about how the area was before the war, but it probably isn't something like that. What do you mean? Ouch. Behold the Sweetfish River running through my beloved home vault. You who seek the Golden Land, follow its paths downstream to search of an old key. After these two lines, there is a single blank line. Something is being presented with just these two lines. I would suppose the next three lines continue based upon that something. I wonder what it is that's being presented then. I don't know. In any case, just... What the fuck? Oh, it's fine. In any case, after just these two lines, it's not something vague, like you don't know which river it is. You're able to narrow it down and say specifically what river. It may be that this isn't a river with the water flowing down it. The Sweetfish River might mean it's kind of metaphor. What kind of image does the word sweetfish have? Sweetfish like salmon. They were freshwater fish, but they go out into the ocean right after they're born. Recently, my mom got a lot of fresh red fish and we salted it, and right now we doing like little sandwiches with salmon, and it's like the best thing in the world. I love salmon so much. This is so good, especially because fish was like caught by a person. It was fresh given to us. It's just so good. It's just so good, you know. It's just so good. I felt so good when I eat it yesterday. Oh, just thinking about it makes my mouth water. It's so nice. Tasty food, it's so tasty, it's so good. Damn. I would eat it right now. Maybe I'm just hungry. Maybe I feel bad because I'm really hungry. But I just eat already today, and I usually just eat once a day. So, Sweetfish like salmon, yeah. And when they get big, they return to the river to live here, and then they spawn here and end up their lives here. Well, they leave their home at one point, but the part about them getting big and return here to lay eggs, they may have a family prosperity type of image. Huh. They freshwater fish, but they can live in the ocean? I didn't know that. Yeah, me too. I thought they were river fish, so they couldn't go out into the sea. Oh, stop putting your freaking Japanese here! And they also called kogyo? Aroma fish, because they have a very pleasant smell. Oh yeah, it is aroma fish. Kanji for fragrant? Kanji from Sakana? I have never eaten one, but I have heard that they are very delicious when grilled with salt. What? You never eaten salmon? Aren't you rich? Oh, Natsuhi-san, you never eaten salt grilled sweet fish? They're delicious. I'll treat you sometime. It's a food for commoners. Isn't it? It isn't appropriate for my— Excuse me? Sweet fish is super fucking delicacy. What are you talking about? It's kind of hard to get in my place. In the place where I live. It's hard to get, and especially really hard. Fucking rich people. I mean, maybe they're in Japan, so they have a lot of fish around or something. I don't know. This is just my wild idea, but the image I get from the Sweetfish River was made me suspect a family tree before. The sweetfish go out into the ocean for a time, but they return to the river where they were born to spawn, right? It made me think about myself. You're right. I can confess now. I have sometimes suspected that it refers to you and Maria-chan. I see. As you travel down, you will see the village. The only village in Sato you'll find by going down the family tree is the one in Maria's name. Ooh! Maria? Maria. Ma for kanji for straight away. Ri for ri. What's a fucking this kanji? It's the first time me seeing this kanji actually. Ya, ya. Syllable for ya. Right? But as you all know, father was dislike of Maria, and he has almost never spoke to her. Fuck you, this is unfair. Okay, this is actually not unfair. It's just... I mean, it feels unfair, but it's not actually unfair. They can't solve this shit because I don't know their names. Besides which, father once told me to give Maria a completely different name. I just made it Maria on my own. Father was very mad about that. Oh my god, what name it was? You think about the dear history here. I really just couldn't imagine that he'd reference Maria's name in the previous epitaph about who would inherit his wealth and family hardship. Have you ever let Maria-chan read the epitaph? Oh yeah, of course I have. But she didn't seem to have a clue. She didn't have a clue, and she kept going on about the same occult stuff about how it was a resurrection ceremony for the witch. A connection between father and Maria. Certainly, they do share that occult hobby, but they never interacted. I can't imagine it refers to Maria either. What interests me is the fact that he explicitly added the word beloved at the beginning. Like you all said just now, if father was reluctant about becoming the Shinomiya family head, would he describe it this way? I don't think it's a Davara which points back to the Shinomiya main family. I believe that this word beloved, here at the beginning, definitely refers to a place full of very important memories to father. So it's something connected to Beata? Well, that's fine. I've had a pinpoint since we don't have a clue about the mouth from that time, but anyway, there were probably several rivers with sweetfish swimming in them near Dad's home during his youth. That's if it's a river with water flowing down, right? And then, go on, Kiri-san. I don't really understand the three lines starting with "as you travel down, you will see village." These are probably coupled with two lines about the Sweetfish River. It's probably something that he would automatically understand if he knew what the Sweetfish River really was. As long as we don't understand that, it's probably useless to try and solve those three lines any further. So we're screwed unless we know what the Sweetfish River really is. And there is no guarantee that it means a literal river. Seriously, the heck does it mean by sweetfish? Were they a favorite dish of Dad's? Or is it something or is there some special meaning? It is pointless to read too deeply into it. If you don't have both a micro and a macro perspective, you feel the vision grows narrow. Think not too deeply about the river with fish swimming in it, or some kind of flow. Something you can go down and go up. Keep those kind of abstract ideas in mind, and we may be able to come up with more out-of-the-box ideas. I think about stairs for some reason. I don't know. Because if you need to find the key, it's supposed to be like super narrow something, right? It's supposed to be something that you can just go throughout. Something really objective, something really small. And something that you can go on and find the key. Because before, siblings talk about this and they were like, oh, you could go down the river in Otagawa, but the river is huge and you can't just find the key here, right? So it's supposed to be something small. It's like, maybe if there was like a huge tapestry with a fish, you just need to go around this tapestry and find the key behind it or something. It's supposed to be something like really objective, something that exists here. And via the three lines that follows, the answer for the Sweetfish River ends up as the key to the Golden Land. If you think about it this way, I wonder if it's a mistake to split it up into 3 parts. There are actually 4 parts. Go down the Sweetfish River, find the key to the Golden Land, journey to the Golden Land, and the treasure of the Golden Land. Truly interesting. Well, we have this opportunity. Would you mind continuing and tell us your opinion about the most central portion of the epitaph, up until the 10th twilight where we arrive to the Golden Land? That's the most symbolic and also the most disturbing part. Since it kept mentioning the word sacrifice, I can't help but think it was something to do with father's occult rituals. How do you see it, Kiri-san? Kirito crossed her arms several times. Did she? She was funny. Peering into the paper with the epitaph copied onto it through as though she was looking through it. This is very difficult. By staring, you who laid hand upon the key. Ooh. Problem means that you won't be able to continue without understanding the key. I'll have to give up, but I'll take a shot in it anyway. It's just like how the Sweetfish River isn't necessarily a river with water flowing down it. It's also doubtful whether this key is actually something shaped like a key. Right, there is also the possibility that it's a code or a keyword. After all, this key isn't something to be stuck into a keyhole. It's something that selects the 6 people to be sacrifices for the first twilight. Oh! It's a clock? It's a clock? It's a clock and all the parts... What about the parts? To be fair, this epitaph reminds me kind of a note that you can find in a RPG Maker game that directly tells you what you have to do to find out some sort of code, and you need to go around the place and just find things that represented in this poem, you know? It has huge RPG Maker vibes. In a sense, we can state that this key isn't something to open the door to the Golden Land. But what a disturbing key. A key that can select 6 people to be sacrifices. Is key like a magnet or something? Does it spin around like a roulette? Oh, that's a good guess. The key points towards a certain specific group of 6 people. No, we should say it points to a certain specific group of 6 things. 6 things. Ooh. If this doesn't mean a literal command to offer sacrifices, for example, it could be an anagram in Japanese. An anagram? Do you mean a word game? Yeah. Even since Rosa started talking about the family tree and how village was a part of Maria Chan's name, this has constantly been going through my mind. It seems as though Rodolfson, for example, has run with the words below the Homo Vault, and is assumed that it has to be something to do with geography or coordinates, but that might not be true. This could be some kind of puzzle, or maybe playing with letters. I'm sorry, what do you mean by playing with letters? Oh yeah, it's like sucker, marry, barless. What do you get when you take out ears and ears? Suck my balls. YouTuber seizing. Jesus Christ, like that. Well, you were raised well, Nati-san, so you probably haven't heard this one. Take out the earth and earth? Huh? Don't. It's an undignified game, inappropriate for you. Only Natsuki didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. Poor girl. It seems that she had the only guessed answer has to be something undignified after hearing Rudolph and Eva's sneakers. Natsuki-san, it's something like this. There was something like it in Maria's book of puzzles, okay? There is this thing called the Tanuki notebook. There is a notebook written in some kind of code. It's a lot of ta mixed in. And if you remove Nuki, all of the tas, then it's a true sense pop-up. It's a game like that. Oh, I see. Poor girl. Natsuki is cute. She's a bitch, but she's cute. As you finally realize the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph has posed, and your face grew red as she hung your head in embarrassment. So maybe remove part is actually represented by kill? Yeah, I was just thinking that too. It's possible that the key to the Golden Land is a word with 6 characters. In other words, the Ta from the Tanuki notebook is actually 6 characters here? This is getting complicated. Playing with letters, it is. In Japan, it really feels like a child's game, but it seems that it's a stylish form of humor on intellectuals in the English-speaking world. Is it? Is it? Is it? You know, Nyarishka Nizmanova is some sort of wordplay too. I am some sort of intellectual myself, you see. Yeah, no, Nyarishka Nizmanova actually isn't a wordplay, it's a pun. It's like Ice Attorney name pun, but in Russian language. It's easy to imagine that father showed interest in it. But right here, I quickly lose my ability to understand it. Up until this point, while it was filled with mystery, it was extremely sequential. Spillfish River and go down to it, find the key is all extremely sequential, and we can guess that we can gain a 6-character key as a result. But in that case, we don't know what we kill the 6th character from. That's the point. What do we subtract the 6 characters from? It doesn't tell us. On the second violet, it says those who remain, which means that at the very least something was a finite number of characters. You could read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters after 6 characters are removed. And yet, we don't know what this something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning. Were we wrong ever to assume that this is playing with letters? Everyone crossed their arms and fell into silence. It felt like they were about to reach a novel understanding that they hadn't been able to before, but they stumbled just one step before it. At the time, Hiroshi's stomach rumbled heartily. The silence up until then was broken by laughter. Sorry. By spinning the gears in my head for a change, my stomach gone completely empty. Look like skipping breakfast really takes a toll on me, haha. Natsuhi, is there nothing here? There should at least be enough to set aside for breakfast. I'll prepare it. I'm also starving. Okay, maybe I need to take this phone call? Hold on. I didn't put popcorn. I need to go, actually. Sorry. The phone call was not a good phone call. Good thing I took it the second time. Jeez. Okay. Phew, I actually felt much better in the end of the second hour. I feel like I could have kept going, if not circumstances. I'm sorry. I need to go. Thank you very much if you watch it. Oh my god. I'll be back. I don't know when, actually. So, I was supposed to stream on Tuesday, but something come up. We need to put PC into, like, PC to PC guy, whatever. I couldn't be able to do it, probably, but maybe I could. And after, oh, I probably come back on Friday. Jesus, that's a 5 days without streaming. I'm gonna try. If I could stream on any other day of the week, but, you know, the Set in Stone stream is on Friday. That's it. See you later. Bye bye bye.